Hello, Stacy. How are you? Page 10, stick control we're going to work on. Hello, Bob. Hey, Robert, do you know that post I had this morning? I had to delete it. I lost about 12 friends. Ha, you believe that? 12 friends. They all said I'm a racist. Mercy, Lord be. I guess. All right, we're going to work out of the stick control book today, or tonight rather. We'll start with page 10. Hello, Paul. Robert, you believe that? I was called a racist and a bigot and a right-wing moron. Ken. How are you, Ken? There's no way I'm a racist. I just made a statement that I felt like making. And everybody come down on me. Defriended me, even unfollowed me on YouTube here. All right, we're going to work in the stick control book. I'm going to wait a few more minutes. We're going to start with page 10. Now, how many of you guys ever analyzed why we do a vamp? Remember the vamp? The vamp. Yeah, I know. You can't say a word. All right, everybody on page 10, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes and then we'll start. If you guys have page 10, any problems or any questions about reading the notation, we're going to actually just work on the left-hand side of the page. Does it sound okay? Ken? It sounds boomy, huh? I don't know if that's how it's hard. I tune them one way and they come to you a different way. So I don't know how it sounds. Is it too loud? Anyway, page 10, we're going to work on the left-hand side of the page. No, page 10, stick control. Paul? Well, all right. If you analyze it, the vamp, the question is, you don't remember what I said. But we're vamping. It's actually, I use the vamp to actually loosen up a whole lot. I put the metronome on 180. 3, 2, 3, 4, 4. So what I'm doing at, if I'm, for example, if I take single strokes, 3E and 4E and I just do the vamp is half of that. 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. the better you can vamp, the better you can play singles. Now you want to work on the weaker hand, which is usually, if you're right-handed, the left hand. All right? So you look at line 1. It's a combination. It says here short roll combinations. You know, I'm a rebel, I guess. I don't know. But I disagree with a lot of different things. It's written in cut time. We had that big explosion about the definition of alla breve 2-2. And, you know, I don't want to deal with this. So you're actually, if I'm going 1 and 2 and 3 and the 4 and, and I'm going to count it 1 and I'm going to count 1 and the 2 and, that's actually 2-4. But we're not going to go there. We're just going to play it as written, nice and slow. Now, you want to make that right and the left sound the same. Now, see, there's no preliminary move, Paul or Stacy or anyone else. I'm coming down from one spot. That actually almost guarantees me the right hand and the left hand are going to sound the same. So what I do with something like this, I keep saying I'm going to set the metronome up. My studio right now, I'm like the mad scientist when it comes to doing something, writing or whatever. Everything goes flying all over the place. I don't know why. But anyway, we're just going to work on nice and slow with the metronome. Now, we're not going to put a vamp on the end of this. We can, but I'd rather not. So you just do line 1. You're strengthening the right attack, the right hand attack. You've been working on that, Paul? If you go like this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, you're not going to go nowhere. Now, what I like to do is, first, you know, this is new or you're not familiar with it or you haven't been hanging out with it for a period of time. Hello, old dog. So what you want to do is do it slow. See, there's no preliminary move there, Paul. I just throw the stick down, she comes back. Now, as I get faster, I don't have time to wait for the stick to come back. I'm on the other stick. For example, if I'm going, I can't go 1 and 2 and wait for it to come back. Like, there's no preliminary move. Now, if you want to hang out with that side, that's going to strengthen the right hand attack or the right hand lead. Line 2 is going to strengthen the left hand attack. So your left hand's on the downbeat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Pop. Now, if you look at the page, 1 through 12 is actually the part of the stick control book on page 5. Like line 3 is doubles. Okay, what happened? Don't fail me now. All right, and line 4 is actually like the first line. Line 4 is the same as line 4 on the page 5. So you're starting with the left. Now what I would do is, I'd find a nice tempo, a nice home for you. Everybody's going to be individual here. Some guys are going to be able to play it at 60, some guys are going to play it at 160. or anything in between, or maybe even over 160. The thing is here not to develop, you're not worried about speed, you worry about sound. That the right hand and the left hand sound the same. Yeah, the rhythm changes from 8th notes to 16th notes. And you want to also implement dynamics. When I say implement dynamics, for example, if I'm down here, the quarter stroke position, it's a lighter sound. But look at the sticks, they're in one spot. Forte. Yeah. So on and so forth. Just have a whole lot of fun with it. You know, I don't have to do the whole page for you. For example, if I did like line 8 rather. Each line has its own personality. What I want to do, actually, is go to page 13. That's enough of that left-hand side. Let's go to page 13. Line number 1. Everybody let me know when they're there. Page 12, or 13 rather, line 1. You see that it's written in a 4-measure increment. Okay, so what you want to do is feel that. You're going 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, back. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Bop. On number 13, pay line 1. Now it's a 4-measure increment, so I'll play that for a while. No accents. So I'll play that whatever metronomic reading I have. Beats per minute, not beats per second. Got it, Paul? Okay, so I just explained to you how the line goes. Now what you want to do is put a 4-measure vamp on the end of this. Now, when I say vamp, the vamps are going to change per exercise. The vamp that we're going to use, when I complete the 4 measures, I'm going to play 16th notes, single strokes for 4 measures. For example, 1 E and a 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, vamp. 1 E and the 2 E and the 3 E and the 4 E and the 4 E and the 2. Now take it at, whatever tempo you feel comfortable with. I like it about right here. Bam. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. Bam. 1, 2, 3, 4. And back. Now, this is a really good exercise to develop some endurance. Let's say you're hanging out with 120 and you play that, I don't know, for about a minute. Now, I want you to extend the vamp. It's no longer a 4-measure vamp. It's going to be a constant 16th note roll, single strokes. Now, you should have your timer set for 3, 4, 5 minutes, whatever you think you can do. It's almost like a sport physically, because, for example, if you jog and say you never jogged before in your life, and say today is going to be the first day you jog, okay, so you can't say I'm going to jog 10 miles. So you say I could jog for a half a mile. And for the first week you do a half a mile. Then you extend it a little bit to maybe 1 mile or 3/4 of a mile, whichever you could do, until you build it up to 5, 6, 7 miles. And believe me, I have neighbors who do that. They're insane. I give them my car keys and I ask them if they need my car. I mean, I can't do that no more. I'm too old. And I smoke too much too. But anyway, not that you're ever going to use 16th notes for 3 or 4 minutes, but if you could do 3 or 4 minutes or 5 minutes of the 16th straight ahead, it's great for your short roll combinations. So example, let me just try it. I'm going to go 1, 2. Extend it. Now believe me, you do that for 3 or 4 minutes, it seems like a eternity. So you don't want to hurt yourself. If you feel any stress, any strain, stop. Build it up to 2 minutes or a minute or 3 minutes or whatever your goal is. But that's going to help you build your endurance and develop your speed. But you have to take in consideration here everything that you learned. The stroke on the right, the stroke on the left, is it equal? My sticks my heights are equal. So I develop the same sound. I have no preliminary motion. Okay, and I'm working at it. See, what happens, the faster you get, you don't have time for the preliminary motion. The tempo forces you to be right. It's simple. Okay. Now you could do. I don't like to do like line 3 or, with the stopping on the and of the next measure. I don't like that, but it doesn't hurt. I just like, sitting there on the drum pad or the snare drum, and you do single strokes for 3 or 4 minutes, you're going to have a set of chops on you. Agreed? Okay, so we understand that. Page 10 and, what was that, 10 and 13. You understand the vamps? Any questions on it? Stacy, old dog, Paul, Ken, any questions? That's where it's a killer if you're in pianissimo. Try that for 2 or 3 minutes. Stacy, when you come here next week, or the week after rather, we're going to work on stuff like this. Hey, Rick, rather, I'm sorry. All right. You understand it, Rick? Rick, being that you're here, instead of me emailing you, listen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email you a list of books that we work from. And if you'd like me to email you too, Ken, I will give it to you in a second. All right, Robert? I will send you a list of books. Now, if you're going to buy the books, go through my website. Go up to my website, and where it says Matt's Products, it'll take you to a series of publications. Now, there's a series like the Gene Krupa, the Tommy Igoe, and the Bible, the Drummer's Bible or whatever. Hit on one of them. That'll take you to Hudson Music or Amazon or Alfred. And you buy it there from off my page. You understand that, Rich? Okay, so I'll send it to you. Now, a vamp. It could be, you could, I don't want to get confused, make you confused with this, but the vamp is something I call making the transition from one segment to another segment, okay? Like, if I'm playing line 1 on page 5, 2, 3, 4, vamp. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm playing that for 4 measures to lead me into the second line, okay? And I'll do that for the whole page. Now, a vamp is, I'm sure that you've watched some television or you went to a concert and they have an opening act, and after they play 3 or 4 songs, the star performer is talking to you on the microphone. But behind the star, while he or she is talking, the band is playing a little background music. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know what they're playing, but just say that's what they're playing. That's considered a vamp leading into the song. Hey, Mr. Randy, how you doing? All right, so we understand that, the vamping, the single stroke roll exercises. Are there any questions about this afternoon's lesson with the flams? The flam taps, the flam accents, the Swiss Army triplets, the flamadiddles, the flam family, or flamily. And Robert, I did send you, Rich, the Charlie Wilcoxon book. First off, I need to see, when you're a new student, it's hard for me to understand where you're at. All right, so I don't know what your capabilities are as a reader. How do you can read in 4/4 or 6/8? So we'll talk about that through email. Or if you have Skype, we could hang out on Skype and talk a little bit. Rick, do you have Skype? I haven't had a chance. I'm sorry, Stacy, but I will. And I'm sure that they're fine, okay? Here's my Skype contact. First off, if you don't have Skype, it's free. I apologize, dear Stacy. And my contact is so if you want, we could talk a little bit. All right, so we'll get on Skype, all right? Maybe after the lesson for a little bit. I don't have too much time. Okay, so Stacy, again, I forget. I apologize. I get so overwhelmed with something and so distracted when I'm trying to do something, I lose where I'm originally at. So, and I do apologize. I'm sure that they sound great. Is there any questions on the Radamacus by any chance? Trust me, I'm going to look at them and I'm going to critique them. And it's up to you guys if you want me to critique them publicly or privately. Stacy, would you like me to critique them publicly or privately? That sounds better. A lot of overtone. Okay, So now we understand the endurance exercises to develop singles, and the same thing with the doubles. If you turn to page 11, number 1 and number 2. Okay, we're doing doubles as opposed to singles. Now, Robert, you said you had the book. You printed it out? Did you look at it? We were working on solo number, I believe it was 20 the other day. Are you able to hang out with that? By the way, Paul did a hell of a job, except for the preliminary motion. But he's going to get out of that. All right, let's go to page 11. It's the same sequence, but on the 16th, instead of using single strokes, we're using doubles. Okay, so if I did the first guy, understand that, guys? Line 1. Actually, the slower you do this, the better off you're going to be. Look at the sticks. Paul, you see that? See, everything comes from the wrist. Even if you're relaxed and you're using your body, it still comes from the wrist. So you're training your wrist to work for you. Got it? So I'm doing it in full strokes. If I up-tempo that, you're going to see a motion with my body. I'm not dancing all over the place, but there is some relaxation and some movement. But I make that movement, I constipate. The same height is absolutely correct. I'm coming down from the full stroke. See that? 1 and 2 and 3, E and 4, E and Now at a speed like that, you want to wait, okay, until the stick comes back. The stick is going to come back automatically. Your hand is just following it back. Watch. I followed it back. I didn't lift it. I didn't touch the stick. I just followed it. 1 and 2 and 3, E and 4, E and I had some, I don't know, some drummer on Facebook. He lives in Colorado, I guess. I don't know. I just let him go. I don't want to deal with him. He plays for some symphony orchestra, which I think is good. That's a good accomplishment. But to tell me, when he's watching my video, he says, "Why are you so stiff? And you have to loosen up and use molar." I said, "Really? Ah, okay. I don't use molar. I don't even know what molar is. I don't even know what stone is. All I know is the laws of physics. Simple. I let the stick do what it's supposed to do. And the sticking heights, I throw the stick down, boom, it comes right back. That's not molar, that's not stone, that's not Adler, that's whoever. That's the laws of physics. I throw it down, she comes back. Simple. And that's how I play that's how I do my playing. Yeah, Randy, it's the same height. Now let me get back to Robert. Solo number 20, did you look it over, Robert? Because I might have to give a lesson tomorrow in reading 6/8. I'll write out a few charts in 6/8. I guess there's a big delay here. Where is everybody tonight? Everybody's outside cutting the lawn with their grass. All right. 68442444. All the same, all related. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One, two, three, four, five, six. Right. Have a whole lot of fun. You know what? Hey, welcome. Henry? Okay, good. I got them from all over the world. I have them from South America, Canada, Europe, Spain, Portugal, Italy, New Jersey, California, Virginia. Welcome. Now feel free to ask any questions that you'd like. I normally start my lessons at 7. I've been a little early. Okay? And you're welcome to come anytime you want. 1 p.m. and 7 p.m. Monday through Friday. Okay? Now, I'm just about finished for tonight, but that's okay. You could ask any questions. Tell us a little bit about yourself, because I don't want to put you on the spot that, you're a new member or someone new. It's your first time here. You're from Europe, correct? Okay. And how long have you been playing? You're going to find that all these people here are very friendly and always trying to help, and you're making new drum friends. It's a good environment. So, the books that I use, okay, if you're going to frequent this broadcast, I use George Lawrence Stone's Stick Control, Joe Morello's Master Studies 1, the Syncopation book, the Buddy Rich book, Gary Shafee's Pattern series, well, 1 o'clock in the afternoon here, 1 o'clock in the afternoon here would be what time in there? That's what? How many hours difference? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hours. So 1 o'clock in the afternoon would be what time there? Okay. You worked with the John Riley book. We have another jazz drummer here, Paul. We're going to talk about structure eventually. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. How do we send who? Me? Randy, why don't you just do this? I think you're a hell of a nice guy. Why don't you just wow. Well, if you want to come, I can't help the time zones. Randy, all you have to do is go to my website, mattpatellallivelessons.com, and just become a member. That's all. I'm going to be running a special in a week or two. Here's how I'm going to do this. And it's more of a promotional networking thing. And, we have the paid for students coming here, because I'm doing it here as opposed to my website, because the traffic here is a lot more than, say, Facebook or my site. And I'm accumulating a lot of students. Come September, October, I will be doing 7 p.m. on my site. But in order to get onto my site, you need to be a member. PayPal's fine, yeah. Okay? What I'm going to do, we have all the paid members or the frequent people who come here, and it's being worked on right now. I'm trying to put it so everybody understands it. If I'm doing a lesson tonight and just say there was 10 people that are usually coming here, and all of a sudden there's 20 people and there's 10 people I don't know, okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to offer them, I'm going to do a raffle, either for the stick control formulas or the syncopation formulas book of their choice. I'll pick their number and send it to them. That should generate some people. Or I'm thinking about, if you become a member, you'll get a copy of stick control book formulas or syncopation formulas, PDF format. Now, my buddy Jimmy from Boston, he's a beautiful guy, that guy, man. He's really a nice guy. He said, man, write some more books, like double bass drumming, the rudimental breakdowns. You know, I've been using 3 different programs, and I'm very familiar with them, and it doesn't take me as long as if I just inserted them into my computer, because I know how to use them. But to do 180 pages, man, takes a long, long time. And I'm just exhausted with it, okay? All right, I'm gonna spend a little bit more time. And I wanna go over, we all have the Charlie Wilcoxon solo number 20. And it's about, well, there's really no flams in there. But it's in 6/8. Again, 6/8, 6 beats to a measure. Each eighth note receives 1 count or 1 beat. So if I did 6 eighth notes, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? If I did 16th notes, I don't count them 1 and in 6/8. It's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. And triplets would be 1 and the 2 and the 3 and the 4 and the 5 and the 6. Do we understand that, gentlemen and ladies? So, solo number 20. We have a pickup note that's on the 6. It's a 16th note triplet in 6/8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I didn't do any repeats, okay? But man, it's just you hang out in 6/8, but that's actually 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I go to 6/8. All right, we're going to have a lot of fun up the road. Now, I'm going to do some 6/8 reading tomorrow, if I could get the PDFs going on. So expect them in your email, okay? And Henry, I'm sorry that it's so late, but you're an undergraduate student of jazz drums in Belgium. Who's your instructor? You have quite a few instructors. You're studying the piano, music theory, all your modes, all that good stuff. Structures of tunes. I'll tell you what, Henry, email me. Let me put my email in here. Email me, Henry. I'll put you on my mailing list, and I'll send you some PDFs if needed. Okay. Now, one thing, I don't know who that is. Okay. I guess it's a great environment, and you're learning. That's what's important. No problem. Okay. Now, uh, Randy, if you become a member of my site, when you go to my site, you go under the student section, members section, open that up. You see all kinds of PDFs in there. And I said the same thing to Rick. Yeah, I studied with Joe Morello for on and off for 30 years. You know, I go to him straight 6 months, then I leave for 3 months because I'm on the road with a band. I come back, do a whole year every week, sometimes twice a week. Then I lay off a year because I'm on the road, and then back. And so it was like that for 30 years. We became good friends. Another guy who's a friend of mine. If you remember that show, Jesus Christ Superstar, it's a Bob Fosse production. He was the original drummer. And then we have Jeffrey Johnson, who's a friend of mine, who's the author of the level system, and he studied with Morello as well. And then you have Steve Forrester. Well, that's up to you there, Randy. It's up to you. All right, guys, I'm going to say goodnight, and we'll see everybody tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Henry, do you have Master Studies 1 and Master Studies 2? If you want, I could set up something. If you get a few more students to come to the stream, I could do a lesson especially for that. How does that sound? Henry, how does that sound? Get about some of your friends, 5 or 6 of them, to come to the stream, and I'll do an additional stream. Okay? Well, if you're going to buy them, don't buy them unless you talk to me. You go through my website and go under Matt's products and hit either the Tommy Igoe, Gene Krupa, or the Drummer's Bible. It'll take you to Hudson Music, and Hudson Music sells all the books, in addition to my books. But if you want to do okay, fine. We'll talk about, it'll probably be, if you guys are college students, we'll probably talk about song structures, the modes, jazz independence, have a lot of fun. And also everybody else will be invited besides your friends. And I need to sign off. So we'll see everybody 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow. Everyone have a good night.